Hello, everyone. Welcome to Question Everything TV, where we subscribe to the notion that to doubt is more important than to adore, to question is more important than belief. Welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us. My name is Akashic, and we are a growing community of rational thinkers that explore truths together. So, if this is your thing, please consider joining us by subscribing. And if you think this video is good, I would be grateful for a like and a comment. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. Today's topic is The Matrix, a prison for your mind, by your mind. One of the greatest spiritual movies ever made was a movie called The Matrix. Now, I'm not going to break down the whole movie in this video, but to sum it up, it was basically a world where people lived in a computer-generated dream world in a sleep state and was unaware of the real world. If you've never watched this movie and you are pursuing a spiritual path, it is definitely a must-watch. It parallels our reality in so many ways. And like this movie, we too live in a world of illusions, lost in a state of unawareness. We place value on all external things and have lost sight of who and what we truly are. We have chosen to identify with the external material realm, where things are temporary, and have lost the spiritual, unmaterial realm of consciousness that is eternal. So, in its present state, there are four things that govern the material world. They are fear, desire, ambition, and greed. These four things have created the collective consciousness of the illusion we live in today. Just think about this. In our illusion subjective reality, everyone is filled with greed. People are always attempting to acquire and to have more. However, in an objective, real reality, a person desires to be more. When a person attempts to be more, they fall in harmony with the universe. When all they desire is to have more, they live in the matrix of illusion. So, what is spirituality or divinity? Spirituality is to be awake, to drop all illusions. Spirituality is never to be at the mercy of any event, thing, or person. No event, thing, or person has any power over you. Human reality is consciousness trapped in time and space. Our view of reality in the third dimension is very limited. This is the prison of humanity. Phenomenal reality is our individual perception of reality. Real reality is out of our reach from the material realm. The world we live in is not reality. It's a world of projections. It's all perceptions. Take away projections and perceptions, and all that's left is divinity. So I know that's a bit heavy. So let me break it down in an analogy so you can understand it better. First, I need to explain what divinity is. Divinity is pure consciousness. Some call it spirit. Some call it the Holy Ghost. Some call it chi. Some say it's the soul. The name doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. For this video, I'm using the term divinity. So, when divinity decides to have an earthly experience, it bonds with the flesh in the first moments of birth. This is called the breath of life. This is what is meant in the Bible text at Genesis 2 verses 7 when it says, God breathed life into man and it became a living soul. Now, I'm not saying babies don't have a soul in the mother's womb, because they do. I'm saying the bonding completes upon birth. Let me explain. When a mother gives birth and the baby exits the mother's womb, the doctors clear the mouth and the nasal cavities, and what's the first thing happens? Ah, ah. The baby takes a huge inhale, and then the baby begins to cry. Divinity has bonded with flesh. We all have and house this divinity until what we call death happens. And what happens at death? When a person dies, they exhale on their last breath. It's called the last breath of life. Divinity exits. This is what it means in the Bible at John 19 verses 30 when Jesus said, "It is finished," and bowed his head and gave up the ghost. The bond of divinity and flesh was no more. So, my analogy will focus on what happens to divinity while it's in you until physical death. Hopefully, this analogy will give you clarity to how the mind has created a prison for itself. So, the analogy is this. Once divinity has bonded with flesh, it's like a blank movie screen or a white sheet. It has no experience. Now, as I explained in my last video, the parable of Adam and Eve, the fall from Eden or total consciousness gave us the mind. And in this analogy, let's imagine the mind as a movie projector. When you are born, the projector's empty with no experiences. So then, at the time you are born, the movie projector starts recording. It observes and soaks in everything. It learns how to walk and navigate its material body. Your parents teach you language and dialect. The school system gives you basic education. Your culture gives you a preference to food, art, music, religion, etc. From birth until puberty, the projector records and soaks up information. The projector, your mind, develops patterns and programmings through observation and experience from and through the five senses. At puberty, about 13 or 14 years of age, something changes. The projector, your mind, switches from record to play. It turns on. It starts projecting reality on divinity. Now, divinity never changes. Divinity is truth. All it does is reflect what the projector is showing on the screen. So, if a child was beaten and abused before puberty, that horror show starts projecting on divinity, and the child begins to live and act out that reality. If a child had love, likewise, that reality starts playing on the screen. This is why it's so crucial that we watch what images and experiences we give children. Culture shapes the projector. If the child is exposed to hate and anger, that's what it will give when it's in school. This is also why we need to have compassion to children that have these issues. They are only projecting what has been fed into them. So now the projector is playing. Divinity is quietly reflecting. It is just experiencing. But the kicker is, everyone else's projectors have turned on also. So not only is a child that's going through puberty experiencing its own projection, it's interacting with everyone else's projections also. This is called the collective consciousness. This is the stage when a child starts developing preferences, developing what we call a personality. And in the meantime, all of these things are happening. Divinity has not changed. We go through life editing and changing the projector. Every 7 years, you change into a new person. But the pureness of divinity is still a blank white screen reflecting what the mind is projecting on it. In this way, you must understand that this is the prison of the matrix. Whether you are living a horror story and become a murderer or an addict, or whether you are living a wonderful, fulfilled life, it's all from projection, the mind, the story that's flashing on divinity. This is the illusion of the material realm. This is what I explained in the last video, that to reach consciousness, you have to become no mind. You have to shut the projector off so you can experience divinity. Until you become aware of this, the matrix will continue to have you. You will remain a slave, a prisoner of the mind by the mind. So, in conclusion, always remember, the mind is the projector. The movie screen is awareness. You can acquire all the knowledge in the world to change the content of the projector, to change the movie on the screen. Divinity is unchangeable. It's pure consciousness. It's enlightenment. It is what it is unto itself. It is the natural state of presence. It is what we were meant to be before the fall of Adam and Eve. Once you learn how to shut the projector off, you will be able to witness the screen totally as it is. Pure consciousness. That's it for today. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I was able to break things down so that everyone can understand. If you have any questions, I encourage you to leave a comment. I respond to all comments. And that's the way, we can develop a dialogue if you have any questions. I hope I was able to thoroughly explain everything, but if not, definitely reach out to me. And I'm open and welcome to all questions. I hope you all enjoyed, and until we meet again, namaste.